mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, which is still very much in use today. And then there's an offshoot too, Chuck, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy.
Yeah.
And that takes CBT, which is a proven type of talk therapy used extensively in psychology, and applies John Kabat-Zinn's approach to mindfulness to it, right?
Yeah, and I think one of the big tenets here is to interrupt automatic thoughts.
Right.
And the automatic thoughts that can lead to an automatic behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So the automatic thought might just be your propensity to feel that stress and reach for a drink immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And not even think like, oh boy, I need a drink because I'm stressed out and that'll help out.
Right.
It becomes this automatic thing, and he was all about, and the practice of mindfulness is all about disruption and disrupting that flow without judgment.
Yeah, because one of the big things in cognitive behavioral therapy is that you have a thought, your thought leads to a feeling, and your feeling leads to a behavior. And oftentimes, it's like you said, it's very destructive, and you don't even realize it's going on until your life is kind of falling apart, or it's certainly not as good as it could be. And it doesn't even have to be a drink. It could be a donut. It could be yelling at a cashier at a grocery store. Like all sorts of different things, and you are totally out of control of it. The idea behind this, mindfulness, adding mindfulness to cognitive behavioral therapy, is that you are training yourself to detach yourself from all thoughts and emotions so that you can evaluate them clearly, so that none of them can jump out of nowhere, pounce on you, and the next thing you know, you've eaten a dozen donuts and had 6 scotches, and you have no idea why. You do have the idea why, and you probably haven't gotten to that point because you've stopped the whole process by recognizing it the moment it began. Ideally, theoretically, on paper, that's the purpose of using mindfulness to help, especially with mental health.
Yeah, there's a journalist named Robert Wright, and he kind of put it in a way that I kind of like, which was to think of your thoughts and emotions as transient. So it's not like, that kind of goes back to the no judgment thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can have these bad feelings and bad emotions and bad tendencies, but if you allow them to just flow through you, they become transient.
Right.
They don't stick around. The same sort of ideas that you can't, why worry about things that you can't control?
Right.
But not in an office poster kind of way. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It runs a bit deeper than that. It's not like a Pollyanna thing.
No, and as a matter of fact, like if you want to trace it all the way back to its original Buddhist roots, it's that like we have very little, if any, control over life, and that recognizing that will free us from all of our desires and the idea that like we have to have things and we want to hang on to it. Like it just lets you let things flow by, and you can enjoy them and experience them as they come, rather than hoping for the next one, needing the next donut, or fearing the next loss. You just experience life as it comes. That's kind of the point of that, of understanding that everything is transient and impermanent, including your own life. Like you're going to die one day. There's ultimately the big, like, like bingo number.
Yeah.
Like that's ultimately what it's leading
the big
to,
one.
is you're going to die. You yourself are impermanent. And so understanding that through getting there through meditation, daily meditative practice, is kind of the goal.